Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live, number 450. It is Sunday, November 30th, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. Sorry I'm running late. I didn't have anything planned for tonight, and so I had to quickly put it together. And so we'll see what we got. I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away. And I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I didn't know if I was going to make it live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today is Sunday. So here we are. Sorry about not being able to make it, but I was kind of busy. We went over to my brother-in-law's house for Thanksgiving, and we had a great time with family. And then on Friday, I was deep cleaning, and so I want to put up the Christmas tree. So when I put up the Christmas tree, I deep clean, and so I did all that on Friday, and then Saturday I started putting up the tree. This yesterday, later on in the evening, kind of like around at 9 o'clock, went to bed around 1, and then started working on that today. So I didn't get another Facebook Live in from last week, so I'm sorry about that. Hi, Tina. Welcome. Most of my voice has come back. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. PenguinZ33@outlook.com is my email, so that if you wish to join any of my stamp camps or know about future specials that Stampin' Up! Is offering, add me to your list. So send me an email. And then my Facebook page is Stampin' for Joy. So I've had the sinus infection for 3 weeks, so I'm kind of getting over it, not coughing as bad. So happy belated Thanksgiving to you as well, Tina. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let's talk about stuff. So far, we got things coming. So here is the annual catalog, and here is the what we call the holiday mini catalog. Now, if you're a demonstrator and you place an order, your first order in the pre-order period, you will receive the new spring mini catalog, which is going to be available to customers starting January. And if you're a demonstrator and you place a pre-order, that's where you will get your your spring mini catalog. But right now, today, I'm actually going to be playing out of this catalog. We're going to be doing the traditions of Christmas, and that is on several pages. It starts on page 21 with some really great ideas and a gift idea for like a tag combo. Then here is where all the products are. So this is a suite collection, and we call it the Mega Suite as demonstrators because it has 2 stamp sets and then 2 die sets that coordinate with it. Now in this particular suite collection, there is a wreath that is a 3D embossing folder. We will not be playing with that today, but we'll be using the sequins and the designer series paper as the majority of our products today. And we'll also be playing with that really pretty ribbon. Now, we're going to be taking an idea out of this collection here. We're Stampin' Up! Shows you how to do a one-sheet wonder. And now you could see, I'm going to bring mine up. So you could see it, possibly. So this is a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. And as you could tell, there are two different shades. So one's with trees, and then the other side is actually the back side of the Designer Series paper flipped over. So I have this piece right here labeled number 5. So the card number 5 is right here. There is also a number 5 that coordinates with this. So if you were to cut it just like this, you can make all these cards, and everything here is numbered according to the numbers that I have put on the cards. We're going to be actually doing this one today, and I've been wanting to do that for a really long time, and today we're doing it. So this is on page 42 in the Holiday Mini Catalog. So what I've been doing in the past is I've been taking my own cards and from Facebook Lives and recreating them. And where is this one that it goes with? Not that one. So here is the last Facebook Live that I did, which I don't have any information on it. And I don't know where my other card is that I copied from. Oh, Facebook Live. I put it away, probably. I do that. I leave things out, and then when I clean, I put things away. But anyways, what I've been doing is I've been going back in my Facebook Lives from starting one, right? Today's 450. So I've been delving back into my previous Facebook Lives and recopying them. Just to show you that you could take something and recreate it into something that you want to use. So we're actually taking something out of the catalog today. Now, in addition to the paper catalogs, we have these things called online exclusives, which means that you, as a customer, can go purchase these products, but they're not going to be in any type of publication because Stampin' Up! Works 2 years in advance. So they are offering new product several times a year in conjunction to the actual paper catalogs. So this way, we're allowing you, or Stampin' Up's allowing new product to be given to the customers for purchase. So now the December online exclusives, the January online exclusives is coming out next. So we will be able to play with products, but we really can't show you anything. So I'm just going to quickly show you what the front page looks like of the online exclusive. It's going to be kind of a smaller batch of products because the last few online exclusives, they've had a lot. So here we go. Right now, Stampin' Up! Is having Black Sale Friday. Now, several things are already out of purchase. So 40% off selected items. So go into the drop-down menu and they'll show you what's on sale. Now, I think the paper trimmer and the blades, I know the blades are gone. And the ink bundles are gone. And I tried ordering white cardstock and you can't do it. It's gone. So I put myself in a reminder, so Stampin' Up, once it gets it in, they're going to send me a notice saying, hello, we have white cardstock in, order now. And so 25% off select adhesives, 15% off select cardstock. The Stampin' Blends are on sale. And let's see, I think that's it. So you have until December 1st to take a part of this Black Friday sale. So check that out. It's in the drop-down menu in the online store. Now, another thing that's going on December 1st through the 9th is Cyber Monday. And Stampin' Up! Is offering prepaid subscriptions at a great deal. 3-month normally is $81. It's going to be on sale for $61. 6-month subscription, normally $162, and it's now on sale for $122. And the 12-month subscription, which is normally $324, it is now $244. Now just think, Now, if you were to get, say, the 12-month subscription, you would also receive $24.40 if this was just on your order by itself in rewards to use on the next. So that would be $24.40 that you would get to use off on your next order. So any of those rewards, you need to also be opt-in for those rewards. So check that out. Just going to take a sip here because it doesn't hurt my throat or anything like this, but I just get a dry mouth. All right. I love my blackberry lemonade. Okay. Another thing that's coming up is the product of the month. Now, this is going to be starting in December, and you have to have, first of all, you have to have a Stampin' Up! Account. You have to have items in your cart that the subtotal must be $75. If you have rewards, coupons, or discounts on your order, and your order falls below $75, you will need to add more product to make that total $75 in order for you to get that product of the month. Now, once you qualify for the product of the month, you only will be able to get one. Now, they are while supplies lasts, and you can add that product to your, now those products will not be in any publication as well. So it's, once they're gone, and you will not be able to get them anymore. So it's something that Stampin' Up! Feels like Celebration used to be just for January and February. Well, Stampin' Up! Now wants to take that and add that a little bit more to each month. So it's a great way to, once your order hits $75, you will be able to purchase a product for only $5. Now, it could be paper, it could be a stamp set, it could be embellishments. I don't know what the product is, but I think it's a really cool way to get something for a really cheap price. All right, don't forget to check out the last chance list. A lot of these products have been marked down, and once you get, once these products are hi Stacy, welcome. Once these products actually fall off this last chance list, that product will not be available anymore. So basically, this is like, hey, we're going to retire this, but we're going to give you a deal up until it runs out. So check that last chance list. And now I know this is still available. This is called the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. This is something that is cool for any paper crafter that is in your life. It is 167335. It's $99, and it is 12 windows of product. And I've heard from everybody that has gotten this, that is well worth the $99. You get a 2-pager stamp set. Now, that stamp set is an all occasion. So the items that are in these windows do not have anything to do with Christmas or Advent season, okay? It's just a way to give that paper crafter something fun to play with. Now, a lot of people have decided to wait until Advent and then start opening up one door at a time. Well, if you'd be like me and you have one of these, you would open every single door. I mean, why not? Okay, that is all for today. So check all that out. Now, let's see. Today's card, like I said, was inspired by page 42 of the Holiday Mini Catalog, number 5, right here. So this is card 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So number 5, this one right here, that coordinates with these two pieces. So what I've done is I've taken this idea And I'm trying to bring it up to the camera so you could see it. Now, there is a background, so that's the card. Then there's some designer series paper of the trees. Okay, so this is number 5. And then Barb, hi, welcome. I have more of a voice today. And so then these 2 pieces come from here, and you flip-flopped them, so it's the backside page. And then there is you cut a banner out of that, and then there's a circle, and then there's some die cuts. So I've taken that idea, and I've used that for my inspiration for today's card. Now, today's stuff that we're using, I told you we're using the Traditions of Christmas. The only thing we're really not using is this folder. And let me put something in here so that you could really see. Now, this folder, in my opinion, you could use this all year long. There's nothing in here that says you need to use it for Christmas. I mean, this would be really pretty for fall. And you can use sponge daubers or the baby wipe technique using the drops, and you can make this in all different greens. You could do this in all different fall colors. Spring would be very pretty. So that is a 6x6, I believe. Let me measure that on my Glass Mat Studio. Yep, it's a 6x6. So it fits perfectly in the large Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. All right, so we're not using that. But we're using the designer series paper, and a lot of these colors coordinate with Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Pool Party, Real Red, Secret Sea, and that gold foil. Now, one side has the gold foil. The other side, these pieces right here do not scream Christmas to me. So you can use this designer series paper all season long. And I love the Secret Sea color in there. Now, this one's a little different. This one's keeping traditions. This is actually the 2-tone cardstock. We're not playing with that today, but I wanted to show you that this coordinates with this. This is actually found in the Memories and More packs, and you get different paper of the 2-tone cardstock. So if you want to kind of see which 2-tone cardstock you want, I suggest going into the memory keeping area and buy the packs. And then you can play around with the 2-tone rather than buying a full pack of all the colors, which I don't mind you doing anyways. But this way you get fun techniques playing with it. This here is embossing with the sandpaper, ripping, and then crinkling. And then because it's 2-toned, you see the original color, and then you see the lighter shade. And then in this particular one, you also get white willow. And that is a 12x12 also. We're playing with the traditional labels bundle. And like I said, this is a mega suite. So there's 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets, a beautiful embossing folder, and that designer series paper, which is like phenomenal. And then that ribbon. Now that ribbon is called Shiny Ribbon. Yep, Shiny Ribbon, and it's real red. And if you were to say, Joy, I have a black Mustang and I have a red Mustang, which one would you like for free? I would have a really hard time choosing because black and red are my favorite colors. And I know technically black is the void of color. So then I would have to go with red. But black, I am a void. I'm a void. And then I love red. All right, so that is what we're playing with today. I'm actually not going to show you my card because you already saw my inspiration. But I'm actually going to take that and I'm going to, change it up a little bit because, when I look at something, I rarely ever copy direct. Oh, yeah, and we're also going to play with the shiny sequins. And so some of you are on Team Pink for Christmas. Some of you are not. But you know what? Stampin' Up! Said that they did not list any color of pink in this particular set, which I find kind of crazy. So what I did is I went and I took all my pinks and I figured out that bubble bath, I always want to call it bubble gum, which is not it. Come on. It's winter here now. It snowed. So we have that static electricity. Okay, so so for me, I went and I put that right there. And I'm like going, okay, bubble bath. Now, bubble bath is not listed in here. So sometimes Stampin' Up! Sneaks colors in. So, and also, you might think that there might be a little bit of, if you look in these colors here, you probably could see either Melon Mambo or Poppy Parade in there. So, or even Strawberry Slush. So take those. Thank you, Stacy. This is actually the card that I'm actually doing today. Is a very easy card that's very, you can recreate it to make your Christmas cards. So this is Bubble Bath. This is actually a sheet, half a sheet of cardstock. So it's 8 inches long by 5 1/4. And I scored it at 4. I scored it at 4. And I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to give that a nice burnish. And I generally do that front and back. So then that way it sits beautifully. All right, so we're going to put that bone folder back. Now I have a half-inch sheet of strip of cards, designer series paper that is just a piece of scrap. But I save my scraps so that I can use it. Now, I also had a piece of Pool Party cut up and I wanted to use it. So that's the reason why I kind of chose the colors that I did, because I wanted to use that Pool Party piece. Now, this piece is Old Olive and it is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And we're going to die cut out of that. This is going to be the inside panel. So it's 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. We need 2 pieces of the designer series paper, and that is 1 1/2 by 4. I have a scrap piece of white, basic white, and then another scrap piece that of basic white, which is 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. And then this is the designer series paper that is that side. And I thought I was going to use this side, but once I was going to put the adhesive on here, I'm like going, I like that better. 3 3/4 by 5. And then this is our card base. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit there for just a second so that it hopefully gives you time enough to come back and say, you know what, I really like Joy's card. She gave me the directions for all, the dimensions for all my cardstock. Now, if you don't want to do Bubble Bath, you could certainly change that and make that Cherry Cobbler. But my order for cardstock is on its way, and I am completely out of Cherry Cobbler unless it's a scrap piece. All right, I'm going to take another drink. All right. Okay, so now we get to take these all off. So I like to give you a chance to come back and watch my videos, pause it, get your stuff cut up, and then you can put it together with me on replay. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this card base and set that aside. And then we're going to take this piece right here And we're going to add adhesive. And that is with the Stampin' Seal. And that is, I should do this on my mat because I have a tendency to overshoot my adhesive. And if I were to overshoot on my glass mat, that means something else would get sticky, whereas nothing sticks to this. So I love the silicone craft sheet. Gotta have one. All right, so this piece right here is going to get die cut. This one's already die cut. And this one is going to get die cut here. And then this one, we're going to stamp on it, and then we're going to die cut. So we're just going to move that up to the center for a second. We're going to move that for a moment. And right now, we're going to take these and we're going to make these banners. Now, I like to use my Glass Mat Studio. And what I am doing is, this is 8 inches right here. And so I am going to take that, because this is even in the center. Now I'm going to grab my People Poker off my Take Your Pick tool. And this is how I like to do my banners, because I see people all the time cutting up the center and then cutting this way and cutting that way. I, for the life of me, cannot do that. Mine always turn out crooked, and then I'm cutting more and cutting more. So what I'm doing is I am giving myself a hole. And I just poke a hole, and then I can cut towards that. And it 99.9%, I generally don't mess up that bad. Now, see my holes right there. I'm going to flip that over and cut towards my hole. There we go. I'm trying to get that. There we go. And for the most part, that looks pretty good. Except for I'm just going to fix that shimmy just a tad bit. And I mean, it's now equidistant. That bugs the crap out of me when it's not. All right. I have to kind of cut towards the light so that I am seeing where my hole is. And a lot of the times you could flip it over. There we go. Woohoo! All right, so now we have our 2 banners. Now you can make them as pointy as you want. I just kind of wanted a low cut banner. Okay, and then, so we're gonna grab the Stampin' Pearson mat, okay, and we're gonna lay down. I'm just going to lay this right, actually I'm going to lay this straight up right here, because we're going to stamp on here, but I kind of want that. But if I mess up on the stamping, I want to make sure that it looks good. Okay, so first of all, we're going to stamp our greeting for the inside. And okay, so it is going to say, I'm going to grab all my stamps. And I'm going to show you what I did. This here happens to be a curvy stamp. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my wishes this is the part that's going to see I'm going to do it so I could see it, where my letters reach the top of the stamp. And I'm going to push that down on my glass mat. And then I'm going to grab that so it is straight on my block. And then we're going to do the same thing to U. To U is curvy as well. And so we're going to lay this down on my block, or on my glass mat. And we're going to try to do it straight. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. This is a handmade card. Now somebody's going to get a chance to make this, or to win this card. And then also they'll be able to send it to somebody, hopefully, within the holiday season. I need to go get more postage stamps I have more winners picked. I mean, they're in envelopes right here. So I got to get those with postage stamps. And, okay, so let's grab the inks that we're playing with today. Our Old Olive, Real Red, and Secret Sea. All right, so we're going to open up all my inks. And I don't like doing this, but that's okay. Sometimes you just got to do things you don't like. Okay, so let's see. The first thing we're going to stamp is the 2U. And my U moved. I want it to be a little bit more straight. Let's practice that on our Stampin' Cuttin'. Ooh, that looks good. So we're going to do this before it moves. And we're going to do this over here to the right-hand side. Okay, and then we're going to move that Secret Sea out of the way for just a moment. And then we're going to do Wishes. And that's going to say Wishes to You. So the front of the card is going to say Merry and Bright. And then the inside's going to say Wishes to You. I need to move this closer to me because the camera's in the way. All right. So now if I messed up by not adhering that paper down at the bottom, then I could flip it over. So that's the reason why I did it that particular way. Now we're going to stamp this flower on this piece of scrap paper. And then we're going to do this leaf. And, ooh, I almost went in. You want Old Olive. So tap, tap, tap. No squishing. You're not trying to kill a spider. That's going to go right there. And then the flower has innards. Now, it took me a little while. I've done this flower so many times, and then I realized that this piece right here makes the little fluffy things out of the flowers. Okay, so we're going to die cut that. All right. Now we're going to do some more stamping for the front of the card, but I just wanted to do the inside of the card first, just because if I made a boo-boo, then I could fix it. All right, so then we're going to die cut this. And plus we have to die cut the front part of the card anyways. All right, so we're going to grab our Simply Chamois. Now the Simply Chamois, I cut mine into 4 pieces. So normally it fits this whole thing. And now we sell the die cases in packs in the online store, and they're available. Now, new product coming out once you start ordering with the, I think I'm going to get new product I'm going to get new product from the pre-order, and that's going to be in the new packaging system. So if you keep all your stamps and stuff in these cases, and you see the bindings and stuff like that. Excuse me. Stampin' Up! Is still going to sell these cases. So if you don't like the new products the way they're coming, you can change it. Or if you like the space saving area, you can change that as well. All right, so we might as well finish the rest of this part here. Okay, so we're going to add, I wanted the colors of the red in there, but I also kind of like the pink and the blue. So I think maybe we'll do a little bit of each, I think. I like that. Okay, so we're going to put our adhesive from here to here. And then we're going to put that. I like a little bit of white showing. And then we're going to snip this off. Okay. So Stacy, how many people do you have to make cards for? How many cards are you going to be making for Christmas cards? I don't have my list made yet. I don't even have my idea of what cards I am making yet. I haven't even started. I have been kind of a little behind in my thought processes on trying to get, well, you know what? We could put this in here too. Let's put this bubble bath on the Real Red. Okay, so when you see the card, this is why I like to do the card base. So you see that really pretty red and the Secret Sea, and you see the bubble bath. And when you open it, you see the Real Red and that. And so I really like the fact that once you open that up, you could see the color also from the inside. And there we go. Now, this is my kind of card, because then all you have to do is write Merry Christmas, love, and then blah, blah, blah. You do not need to send blah, blah, blah on that card, okay? So, all right. So then we're going to take this piece here and this piece here, and we're going to put that on the front. And we're going to put that right here. Now I'm going to put this piece kind of equidistant from the top and to the side of the Secret Sea. Okay. And then I am going to do the same thing here. Equidistant from here to here, and not necessarily all the way over. Okay. So that's the front of my card so far. We're going to put this away for just a few minutes. We're going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, do all our die cutting, and then we're going to come back to stamping a little bit on the front. For the front, I should say. I'm going to put the lid back on my People Poker. And, all right, I'll be back in just a second. All right. There we go. All right, so I saw that there is a piece of the pine bough in there, and I wanted, so I'm going to actually take this here is a sheet, a bounty sheet. I don't think it's bounty, but what I like to do is when I have a detailed die, I'm going to take this, and this sheet I can use multiple times per side. So that's why I fold it several times. That's going to go in there like that. Okay. And then, so I'm just going to put a Post-it note because I don't want it to move. Then we have one of those dies from the Traditions of Christmas. That goes in there. This piece, the flower that we stamped, we're going to actually die cut out. And so we're going to put this piece right there. Grab a Post-it note, put that on there. Now this piece, like I said, we already cut that out. So this is the same die set. So I wanted to use that up. So now we're just going to roll that through. And I'm actually going to roll it back one more time. Just because this one's detailed and it's kind of a pain in the booty if you don't. So I want to make sure that it is cut the first time. And this is cut out. I love the fact that all these dies can be layered on top. And so I'm just going to take that and put that on my magnetic sheet over there so I don't lose it. When I'm stamping, I have this die. This comes with the Glass Mat Studio. And I put my magnetic sheet on top of there so that one is always at my desk. And I have actually multiple. Okay, there we go. There's our beautiful flower. And I have multiple sheets at my die cutting station. I have set up in my bedroom, which is my stamp room. So it's my stamp room. I just sleep here. I used to have, when I lived in my house, I had a basement. And that whole basement had a ping pong table in there that we did my stamp camps at. We moved to an apartment. We downsized. I love it. The only thing is that the amount of space that I was used to, I do not have here. So if I was to have a stamp camp, I think 5 people max per shift. All right, so that is our die, and everything came out. So using that, and actually this piece smells fresh and clean from that Gain fabric softener sheet. So if you find something that smells like pine trees, you can rub that on there. It might smell like pine trees. But if you don't remove these pieces, so the next time you don't pay attention, they'll make bumps in your cards. So I do know that because I have done that in the past. I'm like, where the heck did that come from? So you'll make sure that your cutting mat stays paper free. And every once in a while, I'll take it to the sink and wash it under extreme hot water and clean it. So it removes some paper trimmings. All right. So we are going to take scissors and we're going to cut about that much off. And we can save that if we want. I do not need it. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to cut that. We could save that if we want to. I don't need it. All right, so now we're going to grab, oops, there goes my flower. This goes on the inside of the card. So we're going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat, and we're also going to grab the silicone craft mat for just a second and put that flower right here. Okay, oops, got a glue booger. Go away. All right, and then we're going to stamp this. It's going to say Merry and Bright, and we're going to do that in Secret C. Oops. It's one thing about having the Glass Mat Studio is that your photopolymer stamps tend to stick to it. All right, so we're going to take that and we're going to stamp that right there. Merry and Bright. And then we'll clean that off with our Simply Chamois. Now, the Secret C doesn't tend to color the photopolymer. So we're okay with that. Did I? Yep, I cleaned that one off. All right, cool. Everything is clean, so that's good. And we'll close that up. All right, so now we're going to take, we don't need the Stampin' Pearson mat anymore because we're going to put our card together. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here. Then I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to grab the mini glue dots and the Take Your Pick tool and the People Poker. And we're going to put, let's see, I don't know if that's my hair. All right, or Bert. Let's see here. I think I'm going to grab my adhesive scissors and cut let's see, that goes right there and that right there. I think I want one more. That stuck to me instead, so there we go. All right, my heat came on, so I am going to take off my sweatshirt. Okay, one thing about living on the top floor is that it can tend to get warm in here. And we face the east, so the sun comes in my bedroom quite well. All right. Oh, you know what? Before I do this, I'm going to leave that flipped upside down for a second. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pearson mat again. I'm going to grab the Wink of Stella. And we're going to color the, well, not color, but we're going to add Wink of Stella to the pine boughs. And all right, there we go. Nice and sparkly. I like sparkly. Especially, I can't say especially at Christmas, but yeah, especially at Christmas because I'm putting up my Christmas tree. And I now have 3 trees because we had a nice big tree at the house. And so last year we had to downgrade, downsize, and so I bought a nice pencil tree on sale, and then I had a small penguin Christmas tree, a tree that I put all my penguin ornaments on, and couldn't find it, and I knew we had it, and couldn't find it, it wasn't in the storage area. And I went and bought a new one because when I'm putting up my Christmas stuff, I need a tree for my penguin ornaments. And so after I went and bought one, again, on sale, Mike found it. It was in the back of his truck. Okay. We never took it out when we moved. It was just funny. I'm like, oh, okay. Because come February, we've been here 2 years. So this is our second Christmas here. And I have lots of stuff. And we had to, get rid of stuff too. But now that I had a second tree, now I have 3 trees. Everything fits beautifully. Okay. And I'm not even done putting stuff out yet. All right. And we're not having anybody over this year for Christmas. I'm like, who's going to see it? I said, I don't even know if I need to put it up. And I'm like, yes, I wanna. All right. So then I was thinking about maybe having a stamping day over at my place. Just bring your stuff and stamp. And so me not doing any prep or anything. And this would be before Christmas, I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I have Christmas cookies to do, and there we go. I sell Christmas cookies, and I got, well, it's more gourmet. I'll probably do like, photo posts here. I might even do a video, do truffles, stuff like that. But I used to do the Christmas list where I would just bring the cookies in for, and give them to everybody as like my Christmas gift to people. And, to make, it's, they say when you have a gift, you need to use that gift. And I just like, well, how can I, I guess I can bake well. And I make truffles. And the only thing I cannot do is a macaron. And that is a French sandwich cookie. And I did one. I made it once, and it turned out okay. But it did not turn out like the things that I purchased in the store. So I have yet to try that at a different time frame where I can maybe practice. But people would say, you need to open up a store. And I'm like, no. It's a lot of work. And plus the recipes are not mine. But I do tweak them, obviously. But there's a white chocolate, or a raspberry truffle that is like my favorite. And I make that one a lot. And it uses freeze-dried raspberries. And it's like amazing flavor. All right. All right. So normally I would just make like 19 different kinds of cookies and make anywhere from 3 times the recipe to 10 times the recipe. Depends on how many people. And I did sell some cookies. I tried to keep it, the list down of people who knew I sold them. So then that money kind of went to help purchase the cookie ingredients. But it got way too expensive last year. So everybody is paying this year. All right, so I am putting large dimensionals on the back. But this is the first year that I've actually put a list out and said, if you want cookies, you need to purchase them. And people, would come up to me and say, I can't wait for cookies. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do them this year. I can't afford it. Mike's been in the hospital too much. And they're like, I'll pay for it. And I'm like, okay. And then a couple other people did the same thing. And I said the same thing. And they're like, I'll pay for it. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll do that. And then I went to a couple other people and I said, if I can't, do the cookies like I normally do, would you want to purchase them? And they're like, sure, I could do that. So I did. All right, so we are going to take the green. And I like it when Stampin' Up! Has the 3 sizes because you don't have funky sizes left. Well then, I used my last green one, so we're going to put the last small green one. So we're going to do 2 mediums and a large right here. Okay, and then I'm going to close that up. I mean, I guess I could use blue. That would be, have large, medium, and small in there. Now we'll just use the green. I don't care. I'm easy. All right, so then we are going to go and add a Wink of Stella. 2. And then the center of the flower. Okay, and then I'm going to clean that off because we're going to go with the chunky parts of the words. Whoops! Okay, so clean that off. We don't want to drag the red to the secret C. All right, so we have a little bit of sparkle. You could probably see it right there. There we go. There's the sparkle. And then we're going to do a little bit of sparkle just kind of where the holes are. Just kind of like acting like the veins. You know what I mean? So we'll get a little sparkle there too. All right. So what do you think about the card? I'll get out the original from the mini catalog. Right here. It's on page 42. So if you look at the card, so I went and added the base card, right, the real red, and then they had very vanilla, so that's the part that opens up with the bubble bath. And so these two, I changed colors so that it's not, so that they're not the same. And then the background designer series paper, I had it so that the beautiful and color parts were here, whereas the majority of the background was the designer series paper in this one. And then I used the die that came with the Traditions of Christmas rather than using a circle. And then I had the die cuts there. And then I used the sequins in in different spots, obviously. And then I actually put a ribbon on mine. So what do you think? Do you like my original, or sorry, my card, or do you like the original? Which one do you like the best? I like mine better, actually. What I like to do is I like to be inspired by something I see, and then I go and take it and change it. Because I have often said that I do not consider myself artistic. I am great with other people's work. And so I can take a card that I just saw and change it up a little bit and make it mine. And then once you feel more inspired to go above and beyond using your own crafting ability, that's how I kind of got mine. So I took the catalog and I cased it, which means copy and selectively edit. And so I like doing that a lot. And even now, So taking that original card. Now, let's see here. And, okay, so let's see. I will probably not be doing Facebook Lives until, let's see, because Thursday after I get home from work, I'm going to start on the fudges. So probably not this Thursday, not that, and not the next 2 Sundays. So if I make it on the last Sunday, I will let you know about a half an hour ahead of time. But otherwise, it's going to be a little bit for me to get out of the kitchen, and maybe if I need to sit down for a few minutes. But when I do my Facebook Lives, I stand, actually. Unless I color, then I have to sit down. Okay, so you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. Please do a thumbs up or a heart. That will get your name entered into the drawing to win this card. If you leave a comment, that gives your name actually an entry as well to get into the drawing to win this card. And if you share this on your timeline, that also will be entered 2 times for sharing. So I want to say thank you very much. I hope you have a great few weeks. Take care and happy stamping.